Hello, I'm Richard Phillips, Director of Policy and Communications here at the ABHI. Delighted to be using this platform at the beginning of June 2021 to launch our latest publication, Making It Happen, Delivering Future Health Tech Innovation. The report started life as our substantive input into the Innovation Manifesto, a piece of work being led by the Health Minister Lord Bethell. The manifesto and the new life science sector vision recently commissioned by the Prime Minister will help shape our sector in the months and years ahead. We're confident that the recommendations here will inform both those pieces of work, as well as the upcoming spending review, which is anticipated at the end of the year. Making It Happen is unapologetically detailed. It's perhaps best considered to be a reference work, rather than something you want to sit down and read from cover to cover in a single setting. You can help orientate yourself around the paper by looking at the summary recommendations, which you'll find at the front. We consider what we believe to be the key drivers for growth in our sector in the next period, along with some critical enablers which we think will be necessary. I've been speaking to people who are instrumental in producing the report, as well as those who will be leading its implementation. So I spoke to Peter Ellenworth, ABHI's Chief Executive. Peter, this report was inspired by our Minister in the Department of Health and Social Care, Lord Bethell's vision for an innovation manifesto. Just tell us how you think this report will help that, and maybe pull out a couple of key themes for you from it.
Thanks, Richard. Yeah, I mean, there is an element, and I'm sure many people who are going to listen to this will say, another report? We really need another report on innovation? Well, actually, having spent over 10 years being involved in these, yes, we do. We still haven't cracked the process in the UK, and I think delivering future innovation in health tech, the report that you're talking about, is going to help us build on the existing strong relationships we have with government ministers right across their department portfolios. It's got 66 recommendations, may seem a lot, but they're important drivers for growth. I think the things that I'd like to pull out are two things, fundamentally. The relationship with the NHS. Whether you go back to the HiTIP report, to Innovation, Health and Wealth, it's always having the NHS that's a missing piece in it. And I think having them as a sincere partner for innovation is going to be absolutely critical. And I know we've called it out in this report, and we're calling out in a number of other engagements we've got at the moment, Life Science Council, Health Technology Partnership, and the new Life Science Sector Vision group that we're working with. We've got to move away from cost-only procurement into a world where value, full value, is properly recognised. I think the move to integrated care systems is going to be a huge enabler of that if we get procurement and reimbursement right. Regulation's the other piece in here. I think we have to end up with an enabling regulatory process in the UK under the UKCA mark, and one that's going to make us a truly global player. Importantly though, the regulator, MHRA, has to be properly funded if it's to play that global role. A lot to do, but I think the report is absolutely right, and we need to really pursue this.
As always, we relied heavily on input from our members, and nobody contributed more than Johnson & Johnson's Amy Peters. Amy really challenged us to think about the essence of innovation, and she shared her thoughts on that with me. Amy, I know you put an awful lot of thought into this. You spoke to an awful lot of people, and you penned a large part of the foreword. And the foreword really tries to capture the essence of what innovation is in the context of our report. Do you want to say a few words about that for us?
Thank you, Richard. I appreciate it. And really, it was an absolute honor to be part of the report. So thank you very much for inviting me to join. And it's interesting, whenever I first started thinking about innovation, I thought about, well, how do you actually define innovation? And certainly I think within the medtech industry, we define innovation as, a gadget, as a device, as something to help enable people or patients to get better care and better treatment. But actually, when I spoke to all of the different people that I spoke to, including doctors, including surgeons, including entrepreneurs, the answer came back as something very different, which was a surprise to me. And innovation to them is about, small changes, systems changes. How do we reach more people? How do we create a system which is more efficient so that we can get more people seen through the door? And actually, what the coronavirus crisis has taught us is that we are very capable of doing some fantastic things within innovation, and we should absolutely keep doing those things, because it doesn't always have to be something completely new and completely different. It can just be a small revamp of something which allows people to do their job better, to do their job differently. And even in patients, there was very much a sentiment of embracing, digital technology as part of their health. And so for me, putting that together and thinking about, well, what is the context of this report and what do we actually want to get out of it? And for me, it was about really exploring the idea of, well, what is true innovation? How do we use the coronavirus epidemic as a learning process, but how do we keep that momentum going? Because we certainly don't want to lose what we've done, and we want to continue to improve on it. So for me, that was the start of the journey, and it's been an absolutely fascinating one since then.
Making it happen is not just the output of the ABHI and its members. We received invaluable insights from our friends in other industry associations in the space, mainly through the informal forum that is the MedTech Forum. Its chairman is Edmund Profit, Chief Executive of the British Dental Industry Association. And Edmund, tell us a bit about what you think about the report and your hopes for innovation in the weeks, months and years ahead.
Yeah, well, thanks very much, Richard, and thanks to ABHI for the opportunity for us all as a sector to contribute to this very, very valuable report. I think it's brilliant the way it sort of brings together and facilitates collaboration between government, NHS, academia and industry, all focused on accelerating innovation, whilst also addressing the key post-COVID issues, looking to facilitate expansion and investment in the UK, and also build manufacturing capacity. And with that comes resilience and opportunities, I think. Also, looking through it, I think it presents, a very valuable analysis of the key drivers and enablers to enhance adoption of innovation, including the adoption of HealthTech champions and local chief innovation officers. I think that's brilliant. Embedding the concept of innovation, driving technology forward within trusts, broader bodies, and also having a HealthTech champion within government. If we can achieve that, I think that would be fantastic. It also addresses the importance of future regulation. It's all change at the moment, and certainly to feed in ideas, particularly that regulation, should benefit research and is led by those ideas, by innovation, by patient care, and of course, regulation should be technology friendly as well to take us on this journey. Particularly embracing things like digital and all those challenges. It really puts together some great building blocks for COVID recovery, for innovation, dynamism, embracing early diagnostic culture, and making us look at making the most of that tremendous wealth of data and opportunities we have, the opportunities of pan UK diagnostic of trials, and the whole issue about rapid adoption of technology and value-based decision making going forwards. And I think in conclusion it also makes some great points about how the NHS must work sympathetically and in partnership with suppliers, because it's that great strength of NHS, DHSC, government, industry all working together, which I think is where the future lies. So very impressed by the work that has been done, and we look forward to some big results going forward.
The last word then goes to Phil Kennedy, a man who is not just ABHI's chair, but alongside ministers leads the Health Technology Partnership, perhaps the most important platform we have to really make it happen.
Right. So Phil, tell us how you think this report's going to help and your ambitions for the immediate future.
Thanks, Richard. Exciting to be working on this report with you and colleagues across the sector. As you know, we were asked as crucial members of the Life Science Council to commission a report as part of our work on the Health Technology Partnership, which I have the honour of co-chairing with Lord Bethel, to come up with recommendations around what the industry actually thinks the lessons have been from the COVID period, and what we can do in the post-COVID period to move forward. I think this report accurately reflects the reality of what is going on in industry today, and therefore is extremely useful to play back to government and to those at Life Science Council level. I mean, really at the most senior level in government, to take forward and implement on some of these recommendations, which at the end of the day is what this sort of work is all about. Again, it showcases what ABHI is great at, which is listening and gathering real world views and experience. And I'd like to just acknowledge the work that ABHI colleagues have put into this report, as I say, with many others from around the industry that we love, and hopefully will take us forward in this crazy post-COVID world with more innovation in the future. So yeah, really excited about it.